Greetings from the set of Metro and More at Metropolitan Community College, serving more than 50,000 students with over 120 programs at our 8 locations in the daytime, evening, weekends, or online. I'm your host, Kent Pavelka. Welcome again to Metro and More. More of what you need to know about Metropolitan Community College. As you just saw, in the next 30 minutes, we're going to be talking about an exciting program at Metropolitan Community College, MCC's Entrepreneurship program, with the program manager and instructor in Entrepreneurship, Heather Nelson. It's been a while since we've had you on. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you, Kent. It's been several years and our program has really taken off, so I'm happy to be here to share with everybody.
Great. We'll do an update here on the Entrepreneurship program at Metropolitan Community College. You've had this position how long as program manager?
It's amazing to say, but this is the end of my 8th teaching year, and we launched this program with just 10 students, and now we're seeing over 2,000 students coming through our program a year. So we've grown significantly in just 8 short years.
So the Entrepreneurship program is 8 years old also?
It is,
yeah.
yes.
Is that when you came to Metro?
It's been my only position with the college. It's why I came. I'm a prior commercial banker and really worked a lot in consumer, commercial, mortgage, construction, lending, and I was always on the other side of things, seeing businesses already up in action, and now I'm on the opposite end, getting to help students launch. And we've really seen a lot more return to Metro to help with the growth. That's a huge opportunity to seek knowledge after the fact to help businesses really truly grow, and we call that business acceleration, where they want to launch that business, hire employees, create jobs, and that's really what it's all about.
Very good. Well, tell us a little bit about the history of the Entrepreneurship program. 8 years old.
8 years.
How and why was it launched, and
Sure.
kind of track the history of the program?
Absolutely. We're really fortunate. Some people might remember when Tom Osborne was the congressman, and he actually launched a national program to develop entrepreneurship education at the community college level. And as the state of Nebraska, because of course Tom was sponsoring that, all 6 community colleges came together, and that's really unheard of when you have all 6 around the table, plus the local universities, people who came from business and industry, and we developed this program together. So we have common curriculum, and it's all developed under a platform called the Nebraska Entrepreneurship Task Force, or NetForce for short. And we still get together on a quarterly basis and we review that curriculum. We take a look at what every school is doing for activities, share resources, ideas, and really take advantage of everybody's synergy.
Give us an idea of the scope of the program in terms of how many students and that kind of thing.
Well, we have 2,000 students that we're seeing this year, and that is students that are sitting out in our dual credit programming, so they are juniors and seniors in high school already taking our college classes, as well as students that are here on campus studying multiple program areas. We have cross-program areas in early childhood entrepreneurship, culinary entrepreneurship, interior design entrepreneurship. I'm seeing a lot coming from our construction and our trades area, automotive. Just really think about the students that are studying that skill, but then they say, well, I want to learn that skill to not only get a job, but possibly make my own job and be my own boss someday. So while they're still here in school, they can come and take our classes in tandem with those degrees.
So you touched on it, but the program options, break it down a little
Sure.
bit on degrees, certificates, and
we
all
have
the
them
nuances.
We have 6 core classes that we offer, and those are the same 6 core classes that are offered at every community college. And people can come and I always say, you can take one or you can take them all. And if they students that do take all 6, they will earn themselves a diploma in entrepreneurship. If they take all 6 classes and then a few more electives that we have identified for them, such as accounting, customer service, management, marketing principles, they will earn a certificate in entrepreneurship. And then for those that want to go after that full associate degree, they can earn a business management associate degree. And then every student declares a track focus. So then they can declare entrepreneurship as one of their tracks and then access our 6 classes on their degree.
So there is a diploma, certificate, and degree.
We have them all.
Yeah. The diploma would be how much
It's
coursework?
6 classes,
6 of them, okay.
and I've had students that have completed as quickly as 2 quarters, so they'll take 3 one quarter, 3 the next quarter, 6 months, and they're done. I've had some students that will take 1 at a time, and they go through it very methodically. Oftentimes you see those students out working full-time, busy with families, and they're coming to see us. And I say coming to see us, really, Kent, about 60% of the students really come in our online programming. All 6 of our classes are offered every quarter in the online mode, and that's really where our growth is.
What's the percentage again?
About 60%
Wow.
of our students that we're seeing are coming in through the online arena. So we're really putting a lot of resources in to make certain that we have videos. I've podcasted a lot of our speaks, as well as my peer instructors have. There's many advantages to having an online platform system for people to have access to 24/7 at their own schedule.
Back to the 3 examples you gave, the diploma, the certificate, the degree. What, I mean, is there a reason someone would want one or the other of those, or one of the 3 of those?
Sure. For those that are actually truly seeking, a degree-seeking student, especially if they are accessing financial aid, they have to declare a degree to be able to use that financial aid. Then I usually see those students taking more of the certificate or the associate degree. But those real entrepreneurs, they're like, just give me the content, Heather.
Yes.
I need that help. Oftentimes that's where we just see them getting the diploma. And they don't have to. Again, Kit, the nice thing is they can come and they can take a class on whatever subject that interests them. We have 3 ancillary courses that we actually really recommend to even existing entrepreneurs out there. One is on marketing for the entrepreneur, another one on legal issues, how to keep yourself out of court, contracts, all that stuff, customer policy, things that you sometimes don't think about, you don't have place until you need them. And then another class on financial topics that helps people with budgeting, forecasting, making those managerial decisions off of numbers. And that's where we're seeing a lot of our existing business owners coming into those classes.
What's your take on the just explosion of people who want to be their own boss, be an entrepreneur, as opposed to working for someone in a career?
It is interesting. Gallup has just completed some actual surveying of our middle school and high school students in the state of Nebraska. And it's high percentages. 80–90% of them say, I want to be my own boss. They see the flexibility, the luxuries of it, and at that young mind, they're very risk averse. So we're doing a lot of our outreach to that middle school and high school area to specifically support them in their ideas. And those ideas just blow me away. It's things that I get so excited about. Sometimes you don't even have a vision on, you don't have the pulse on, but these young students do. They see it, they know they need it, they want it. So,
well, give me an example of some of those things that just
obviously a lot of them are technology oriented,
Yes.
or they have technology embedded into those ideas in some way. So innovative ideas are very, very big. We're working with a couple of high school students that actually have their business open. I'll give 2 examples. One is developing coins. So it's a non-tech business, and he's developing coins. And he started this back when he was in middle school. He's from an Army family. His folks work at Offutt, so he's used to that metal, that coin process already that people get as an award. So he decided at middle school that he also wanted to develop that for kids to have for inspiration for things that they are also doing. So here he is, a senior in high school at Millard. He's actually in our Millard Entrepreneur Academy. And he came and won as well our high school elevator pitch competition, and he earned himself $500 as well as scholarship money to Metro Community College to continue to support his idea. Another student that we have is actually in interior design, fashion, and she's already going to New York and showing her things out on the New York runway, and she's very big into Omaha Fashion Week. And Kate is a very inspirational junior. She's just a junior to be around. She actually has commercial sewing machines operating out of her home. She's hired seamstresses that come in and work for her and create her designs and have them out there. And these are juniors and seniors in high school, Kent. Can you imagine if we had that opportunity?
Yeah, Well, and some of us are taking the opportunity at an older age, and that
That's
segues
right.
into the idea that
It
these
does.
courses are probably pretty eclectic in terms of who
It
takes
is.
advantage of them.
We've had students anywhere from 10 years old to 80 years old come into our program, and you bring up a really good point. We call those the encore entrepreneurs. So it's a second, third, fourth career down the path, and they're looking for something really, really flexible, unique to do in their later years.
Yeah.
And that's reflective in our program. Our average age female is 44 years old. And we are seeing these women come with, okay, I've raised my family, I've put time into my career, the bills are at a point, where they're either down or manageable, and now it's time for them and their passions and their ideas.
There's always more information on every topic we discuss about the college on the website, mccneb.edu, and we'll take a look at it now and kind of drill down into some of the things, additional information, and you can remember to check that out when we get off the air. But
That would be great.
one of the things I wanted to ask you about before time run, well, let's take a look at the website here.
We've really tried to develop a website that has current information out for the community. If you take a look on the left-hand side, we have all the information about the diplomas, the degrees, the certificates that we just talked about.
Great.
And we really encourage people to take a look at the other programs from across the campus, because they have also interacted with our entrepreneur courses and they're embedded in. So if someone's not necessarily interested in just general business, but a skill area such as culinary, they can access both sets of classes at the same time. Also, you have access to our brochure, which on the second page has all 6 of the classes. And these 6 classes are all already approved for full articulation and transfer to all the 4-year state schools in Nebraska.
That's the core classes at the top there.
The core and the ancillary courses are approved for transfer
But
as
I mean
well.
the 6 cores, right? You can take a look at what they are there.
Yes, we have an Intro to Entrepreneurship course, which is really for people just starting out. Feasibility study course, and as I say, that's the guts of a business plan. It's where you do your research. You take a look at what competition is out there, your target market, your industry, everything, and really try to do your research to prove it. I call that the show me the money class. Is it feasible? And we're really fortunate. We're one of the only states in the nation. There's not many that are actually offering feasibility classes. It's a tough class to teach. It's a tough class for students to take. Just think about if you had an idea out there, that's half of the questions that you're asking yourself is this idea feasible? So we're bringing them into a classroom, and on the very first day I explain, there's no tests or quizzes, and I don't even know the right answers that you're going to come out with. But the question is for you to use our resources, use each other, and the information that we have in the classroom to really test if this is a feasible concept.
I think that is worth chatting about for a quick minute further, because I know there are a lot of people out there. The first thing that happens is you think, well, I got this idea, and then, so what do you do next? And would that be the feasibility
It is.
part? So,
It is.
so what are the things that you take them through in terms of the idea to this is or is not something I ought to try to pursue?
Very first thing I have them do first is get their idea down in 1 page or less, and look at all aspects from what's their product or service, what's their target market, what's that special differentiation feature that's going to attract customers to you over the competition, and then tell me about you as the manager. What's your background? What experience do you bring? What education do you bring to the table? And in no more than 1 page, because no one's going to read more than that when you're just starting out. From there, we actually take that one page business plan to concept test. And students actually learn how to develop a live survey, and they deploy it. They're required to deploy it out and get consumer feedback. And that's the most interesting thing. Usually I have people go, I didn't know that they would pay for more money for this product, or, oh, I'm asking too much. But just getting that consumer feedback is very important. As a prior banker myself, one of the very first things that I would always ask is, what are people telling you? What are you reading out there? What are you seeing? And we do a lot of that in this class, and start to pull in all this information. And I kind of tell the students, we're finding ingredients to your recipe of success at the end. And I have had some students say, yeah, I can't make a successful recipe out of this idea. Well, maybe not now. Or they're going to shelf it, and they're going to shelf it for later because they realize they need to get more work experience or more education. And I look at them and I say, then it's a successful class for you.
You bet.
It absolutely is, because we got to this point before you put all of your time and investment into startup and you hit failure and had financial repercussions because of it.
Well, and then the other reality is you either take that next step, which would maybe be this class, or too often it just ends up an idea that you never do anything with.
That's correct.
You know?
There's lots of ideas that people never do anything with out there. But the last half of the class is really focused on looking at the industry, the health of it, the maturity of it, the forecast of it. Then we look at competition, have them put on their detective hats, call them, look up their website, go in and experience the product or service firsthand. We do a target market assessment, and the really cool thing about Metro is we have an awesome library, and our library has invested a wealth of money in purchasing customized databases for our program. So students can go in and they can query on, I have this particular product in this targeted geographic range, and take a look at what age factors, income factors are, consumer behavior factors, and start kicking out reports that actually we can quantify into sales. And we can turn the sales into revenues and then start to look at expenses and figure out if this is going to be profitable or not. One of our new databases actually has a Google overlay to it, so it's kind of Google satellite overlaid with numbers, and the students get really excited when they get to use that one.
Gosh, check it out.
Oh, it's available on our library database site for all students, whether you're in our class or not.
Well, Heather, let's talk about the annual Heartland Student Entrepreneur Conference.
Yes.
Because I know that's something that is.
Yes. Yeah. Since I was
proud
here
of.
last time, we started that conference 3 years ago. And the vision was we had a nice group of students developed. And now we really wanted to do activities for them outside of the classroom that could bring in speakers, offer opportunities for them to pitch their ideas and get vetted feedback right there. And I saw the same need coming from my peers teaching at UNO, at Creighton, at Bellevue, at Grace. These entrepreneur programs are popping up in all these schools because it is a hot topic. So we have collectively gotten together and we have started the Heartland Student Entrepreneur Conference, and Metro's been hosting it for the last 3 years. On our website, there's a nice link to the conference, and this is this year's conference page. But we have middle school students coming from several focus programs in the community, high school programming, so all of our dual credit students get to come in once a year to Metro and participate. So imagine one day out of 1 year, we have our middle school focus students, our dual credit high school students, and then community college students as well as university students all studying entrepreneurship get together on one day for this event.
Wow.
And it's become very, very powerful. I do have to say it would not be made possible without our funder. We have a wonderful funder. It's the Lincoln Financial Foundation. And they, although are headquartered on the East Coast in our Fortune 500 company, they bought out a little insurance company here in Omaha. And when that insurance company sold to them, they said that we want so much in philanthropic money to go back into the community of Omaha. And so economic development and education are two of the ways that Lincoln Financial supports the Omaha area. And we're very fortunate because we fall under both categories. So they have been our donor for the last 3 years, making this conference totally free to all students and educators to attend.
And it's an annual event in April, right?
It's an annual event in April. We just finished up our 3rd conference. And I imagine we're going to be really close to hitting 200 students attending this event someday. Plus, we usually bring in about another 30 educators, all like me, my peers out in middle school, high school, college arena, all together in one day.
I want to go through maybe some basics for people who might have an interest. First of all, you want to define what an entrepreneur is.
Oh, Kent, if I could do that, that would be great, right? Well,
I mean, some of it's obvious.
Well, yes and no. And really, I do want to start out with saying an entrepreneur is someone that has the mentality to whatever they're doing, whether it's for a business owner and they're working in the corporate arena, so really they're being an entrepreneurial minded person like me, I treat this as my own business, or they are an entrepreneur and they have gone out and they have started their own business. They are very passionate usually about that area, and they really truly have a passion to help people with whatever product or service they're doing. They're earning their own income, they're paying taxes, they're creating jobs, and they're really supporting the community in which we live.
Interesting. The first word is entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
The second word is entrepreneur, but
Yes.
an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur basically
Same thing.
have the same
Yep.
kinds of
They-
abilities and drives.
They think, act, and behave exactly alike. The difference is that the entrepreneur is working for already a corporation. And there is a study that was done about 5 years ago by the U.S. government, and they put out a survey to U.S. businesses, and they said, tell us about your next generation worker. Who do you want to come and work for you? And of the top 5 skills that they identified, one of them was they want entrepreneurial minded people. Why? Because they're great problem solvers, they're decision makers, they take ownership, they get jobs done, and they treat their job just like it is their business.
Why would you choose to be an entrepreneur if you can be an entrepreneur?
Sure.
Because theoretically, I mean, the theory is that the
Sure.
rewards for being an entrepreneur have a
Yes.
higher ceiling.
Sure, they very well could. And I'm a perfect example. I'm definitely an entrepreneur working for Metro Community College, building and growing this division along with my peers. But why would we want to be an entrepreneur? Some people do like working very closely with other people. You get that in a corporation. There's less personal risk involved,
Right.
and I have access to greater financial resources beyond my own person. So I have access to operations from the community college when they see that this is something good to invest in, as well as donors and sponsors and grant money. That's quite significant.
Can someone learn to be an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, or are those
That's the-
attributes that are just kind of innate to a
Right,
large
that's
extent?
the born or bred complex. There's people who stand on both sides of the fence. I honestly have seen people who have come through our program and they say, I'm here because I'm tired of working for somebody else. I never dreamed I would be an entrepreneur. Can you teach me? Can you help me? And yes, we can. The one thing I always stop short with, Kent, is I cannot actually implement the idea for you. You have to have that within yourself. And so that's the part where I think that's innate, and that's bred or born within somebody, not able to be bred along.
Pulling the trigger.
It is. It's implementation, and the people who can actually implement are the successful ones that we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. And we've established there's the ages span from almost grade school to
It is 10 to
To the
10
end.
to 80 plus years old. We've had come into the program. I remember one gentleman fondly. He said he was a prior account manager in his prior life. He was living in one of the retirement communities in the Omaha area, and he was doing taxes for his friends living in the retirement community. And he decided, I need to formalize myself a business and start charging them. So he came to us for help with that. And how invigorating is that to have that
Oh, yeah.
gentleman in our classroom with a diverse group of students, and you really feed off of each other.
I think another thing that is you can set the record straight. I think people think of entrepreneurs and you think something small.
It
Is
can
it
be.
necessarily something small, or
Absolutely. I know that some people across the nation will classify, I'm a small business owner versus an entrepreneur. Some people will say, well, I'm earning over $100,000 or to $1 million, and I'm employing so many people. I just classify everybody as an entrepreneur if you're your own boss. And it can be somebody who's doing a hobby job, working out of their home, to somebody who has 10, 30, 100 employees.
Right.
If you're contributing to your own personal happiness, I think that's very important and first. You're earning revenue, you're paying taxes, and hopefully some of them are creating jobs. That's entrepreneurialism.
Yeah. What about people that have several jobs? In a sense, they're entrepreneurs.
Serial entrepreneurs.
Kind of.
Well, if you're talking about that they're career employed, so they're working out for somebody else, there are many individuals that are entrepreneurial minded, and they do get bored, they get challenged by having multiple jobs and keeping incredibly busy, so you will see that.
Yeah.
It's easy to be able to understand people's traits very, very quickly because you can you can see the people who have that serial entrepreneurialism in them because they have all these ideas and they want to do all these different things, and they really have to find a balance.
Yeah. Time's running out on us. I want to make sure that we cover whatever it is that you want to share with our viewers about,
Sure.
about entrepreneurship.
Sure.
Which, by the way, is hard to spell and say once in a while.
It is. It can be very, very hard. And sometimes I find myself just putting in ENTR, which, by the way, for anybody out in the community, if off the Metro's home website, in the search box, if you just put in ENTR, you'll find our website. Boom, right there it is.
Yeah.
So. I think in the last closing few moments, I really want to encourage anyone in the community to know that we are here. And the one thing that I find people will say is, oh, I don't want to go back to college. There's no tests or quizzes in any of our classes. It's all project-based. Every single assignment, every single project is nothing different than you would do on your own. So if you need help, you need guidance, you're one that wants to be in a room with people doing it just like yourself, come and see us. We're here to help you with that. People can actually audit our classes, which I should be certain to state, they can audit our on-campus classes, but not our online classes. Okay. So on campus, they can audit our classes, which means they don't have to actually sit for a grade. If they just want to come for content, they don't want to be held to attendance, they don't want to have their stuff literally graded with feedback given, you can literally pay the tuition rate to come to all 11 weeks of classes. And I have many real business owners, busy people who select that option because they know ahead of time that they may not be able to keep up with the schedule, but they want to come. They want to come and get that content and the resources and network with people.
Well, and I guess it's important also to talk about, we've talked about online, but on campus, where all is this offered?
I'm glad you asked that. The Entrepreneur program runs on the 3 main Omaha campuses, so Fort Omaha, South Omaha, and the Elkhorn campus, as well as we just launched our program back in the Fremont campus, and we have a brand new hire, Dan Smith, and he is teaching general business classes along with supplementing entrepreneur classes to the Fremont community.
mccneb.edu/ENTR.
Takes you to our webpage.
Is there any, real quickly, pros and cons about doing online versus on campus in classroom?
There's not. It's really a personal preference. I was just talking with a student yesterday who's in my online class and came in to have an appointment with me, a coaching session. And she said, she goes, I miss out on these, one-on-one meetings. And I said, please feel free to come and take our classes on campus. But she said, I'm a single mom, I'm busy, I work full time, and we just had to coordinate schedules to even see each other in person, but we make it happen.
So real quickly, final question.
Sure.
How many times have you been tempted to jump on somebody else's idea?
No, we don't do that. Actually,
I bet you've seen some great ones, though.
Oh, there's great ideas coming out, and I tell people I get my passion and my energy every single quarter. It changes because you get a new group of ideas that come in, and it is just fabulous. The ideas that are going out on in the 4 county areas that we service are just fabulous. And really, I should say, our program has actually gone national. I have had people that have come from Europe, as well as Alaska, Washington, Oregon, and I have asked them, how are you finding us? And they've said, well, we've done our research, and you're affordable, you're accessible, and we recently won some awards for having a really good accredited program.
Great job, Heather. Thank you.
Thank you,
MCC's Entrepreneurship program, Heather Nelson, and thank you for being with us on Metro and More. Our goal is to acquaint you with the mission, leadership, and the reach of the college. I'm Kent Pavelka for Metropolitan Community College.
This has been a MetroVision production produced by Metropolitan Community College.